Great to be hearing from Andrew Partridge from Michell Wool here on Flow. Andrew, you're in a different location to where we usually talk to you. You're up at the Sheep Show.
Yes, Ricky. We're up at Bendigo for the weekend. Obviously, big. Well, they say it's the biggest sheep show in Australia. There might be a couple of places those, similar size, but certainly, it's all happening here at Bendigo today. Lovely sort of mildish morning overhead, cloud, but not a too bad a day.
You're putting a bit of you say mild. It sounds like it might have been a bit colder than mild earlier this morning.
I'm on 4 layers of clothing, Ricky, so I'm actually quite toasty under here. But 8 degrees, I think. We haven't hit double digits yet, but it is fine, and it's sort of mild if you call that on a winter's day.
Sure thing. Well, let's look at what's going on in the markets. We've got these interesting couple of weeks. We were expecting a record number. I thought there was a 60,000 bale projection going forward, but it looks like we didn't see that much in total, but still a huge number in the auctions this week.
Yeah, correct. I think with the downward market, there was a fair bit withdrawn. And that's probably a handy thing. Some of the bigger brokers actually withdraw a bit of wool, so we end up only offering 55,000 bales for the week. It's certainly a big number and took a lot to sell. I think the total turnover for the week, nationally, we sort of go around the $40 to $50 million worth of wool changing hands, and we nearly tipped 80 million out this week. Well, not tipped it out, of course. It $80 million worth of wool sold. So it's a pretty remarkable effort. When you think about it, they're all pretty much Australian-owned businesses that are doing this, and it was a good effort of the market. And the market, not too bad, you're right. Only went down 20 cents on the indicator, so back to 13.88.
Yeah, 20 cents is, somewhere in the region of about, 10%? No, less than that.
Percent.
Yep.
Yeah, not even. So it is like it's breaking a few records. Certainly the market's down a little bit. We sold, I think, over 100,000 bales of wool in two weeks, which obviously, if the market's firing at all cylinders, it'd be great. But obviously we've got different things going on, as we all know about it. But all in all, it wasn't too bad a market. And dare I say, on the last day, actually, it was actually a little bit dearer. We had a 3-day sale here in Melbourne, and on Thursday we sold on our own, and the market actually improved. The indicator went up a couple of cents.
Yeah, well, that's it's a good sign, and certainly it's the old supply and demand, isn't it? When you've got that much on offer, you can't expect sensational prices. I mean, it could even be fair to say that's a pretty good outcome to only lose that sort of percentage when you've got that much being sold.
That's right. Yeah, so in your basic assumption, that's right. So good finals actually seem to tip up a bit on the last day. You see the 17-market indicator actually went up 50 cents to 27.50 in Melbourne. 21-market indicator lost the $15 to $14. I think its peak was about $14.80, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And then your oddments actually sort of levelling out at that 900 cent mark, which they're sort of just tracking sideways. Crossbreed's a little bit weaker. Not a lot of demand coming out of China on crossbreeds in the last couple of days. I'm a little bit concerned about those, but they are already on the mat. They're very low deciles as it is. But dare I say it, the Chinese were inquiring last night for our greedy business, and we could have booked business at the market last night. But, of course, we've got a 3-week break and no auction. So it's going to be interesting to see the next couple of weeks whether their appetite improves.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing to watch over that recess break, and we'll talk about in future Fridays about other things in the market, but the Aussie dollar. It's a lot further down on where it's been in recent years. You'd imagine over a 3-week break it'll probably stay down around that below 68 cent mark.
It does, doesn't it? Seems to be tempting. It's sort of pushing either way, isn't it? Sort of hits 68 and then has a pause, comes back, and can't quite break through 67. So it's in that bit of a range. And it does affect, obviously, the price of wool because it's majority of Australia's wool sold in US dollars. So when you look at the indicator expressed in US dollars at 938 cents, I think, and we've been talking of an EMI in US cents for $10 for a long period of time. It's actually well below where it's been in the last 12 months. So that's a bit of a sign. So if there's any sort of demand for wool at the low US price, that should be feeding through as soon as our volumes start dropping off a little bit. And when that occur, obviously, it's going to be a distance of time because we've got main shearing going on. But if demand's going to be there, it should be arriving pretty soon.
Now, just one from left field here. I know that Michelle's active in the European market. We've seen early this week parity virtually achieved between the American dollar and the euro. The euro's been taking a hammering. What does that mean, if anything, for you guys in Europe or even the Australian wool producer?
From our sense, I can't really talk much on the currency side of things, Ricky, but certainly if they had a trade show, and whether that's playing into it or not, over in it's called Pitifilati. It's over in Europe there somewhere, over near Italy, and very strong. It's a trade show on textiles, so all textiles are there. Wool got a really good rap, and they're actually talking about increasing their range of wool. So currency-wise, obviously they're going into the currency and exporting out. As long as that price works when they process it in country and send it out, basically that's what works for them. So be interesting to see. Yeah.
Maybe the Europeans, to cope with a gloomy economic outlook, are going to get some new threads to feel good about themselves.
In short, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much for that little tidbit,
Thanks, Ricky.
and we'll catch you next week for more on the wool market.
Yes, very good. Thanks, Ricky.